What up, everybody? Welcome back to Random TV Reviews. I'm your girl, Enough.
I'm your boy, Stanley.
If you're new, welcome. If you've been with us, welcome back. But, y'all, we're going to need y'all to forgive us.
Yeah, please
forgive the wayward ways of my DVR player because we let the episode start about 10 minutes before we start watching.
Yeah, so we skip commercials.
There was nothing recording tonight.
Yeah, so that backfired on us, so...
Yeah. So the first 10 minutes, we don't know nothing about it. I didn't see Brad at all, so he probably was in that 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So in the comments field, y'all keep me posted because it's coming back on at midnight, which I'm not going to sit up and wait for it.
Yeah, by the time we'll be asleep.
But we'll be finished just by then. So the part that we came in on was Lucian and Pete is sitting there. I don't know where they were. Locker room? I don't know where they were.
They was in the jail locker room. They was in the precinct locker room. That's what they were.
Yeah. And they talking back and forth about him. You know, of course, Lucian is trying to move in with Natalie secretly. Who does that?
Yeah.
I do know people that have moved in on people they didn't know it.
I've had people move in on me secretly.
Yeah.
Now no, I
wasn't pointing to you.
Oh.
Somebody moved it. No.
That's right. Somebody did move in secretly on you. Somebody moved secretly on me, too.
Somebody moved in secretly on both of us.
Yeah.
We need help, y'all. So, so Pete pretty much tells Lucian that, in so many words, I got the tape. And Lucian was like, look, don't you do nothing with that tape. Don't you say nothing about that tape. If the tape comes up, you want it to come from the head because you want them to think that it was their idea.
Yeah.
Then we have Creeping Ben. He comes by. He goes in the bathroom, but he's listening to everything they're saying. The oldest trick in the book. When somebody comes around, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, really shut up.
That's why he was a rookie.
Yeah. So he's still talking and all this stuff. Nothing major there. So the next scene is we get to the guy. I cannot remember the guy's name. Please fill me in. But the guy from the cartel.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
We're at his make-believe house because that was all green screen. That's how you didn't fool me.
It was too perfect.
Yeah. So homeboy Quan come rolling up. He talking about something. Why you walking on my grass with you? Yeah. That's just Tyler, stop doing this hood stuff on us because we don't like walking on sidewalks and stuff.
Yeah, we walk across the grass.
Sidewalk right there, but we're gonna walk on the grass. So he was like, is the job done? And the guy was like, yeah, it's done. And he was like, you liar. The guy is still alive. They're talking about Eddie because he told him to kill Eddie. And so Quan was like, come on, man, I need more time. And he was like, no. Then some kind of way money came up, and I was like, how did the money come up? So the guy was like, you owe me $150,000.
Yeah.
So Quan starts begging and pleading.
Please, come on, please.
Oh, you didn't do your intro. If loving you is wrong,
I don't want to be right.
Oh, I had to get that in there before this.
Yeah, because Lady Nika was going to get us.
Yeah. So this $150,000 came up as kind of like, this is the truce for you not killing off Eddie. And Quan was like, I ain't got that kind of money. Baby, please, baby, please, baby, please.
But I think Quan had already owed him money in the previous episodes. And the exchange was to kill Eddie. Yeah, he had owed him. I don't know if it was $150,000 or $200,000. But he had already owed it. So that was his part of the deal. Yeah, so he didn't come through.
Yeah, so, Quan, he begged. And he was like, have I ever been late on you? But that don't make sense either. But anyway, he was like, have I ever been late on you? Have I ever came up short? No. So the guy was like, well, yeah, no, you haven't. He was like, give me a week. I got a plan. So dude was like, you got a week. And I want to hear this plan. When he walks away, we hear this so imaginative gunshot.
Nah, you missed the gunshot when he thought that he'd done the job and said he was going to ready to leave.
Yeah, he did that too.
So he actually got shot at 2 times. That's some hood stuff for you.
But it didn't. Tyler, with all the money you got, you just bought an airline. You can't give me some realistic guns?
So you know it was sound effects. You
could have used mine. I would have let you borrow it. But really? I was like, what is that? Pow, pow. I was like, come on now.
Sound like them gunshots in them video games.
Yeah. But then where was it coming from?
Yeah, because it definitely wasn't coming from towards the houseway.
And it won't coming from the dude. I was looking at the dude like,
because
he got something in his hand?
Yeah, so he won't shoot. So it was coming from behind him. So maybe they had somebody sitting up in the tower like they got in the yards in the prison.
Right.
Prison guards.
Yeah. But anyway, we get to Faun. Faun is don't showed her tail up. You know, she's doing the walk of shame right now.
Yeah.
She comes up into the restaurant. She comes to get the money drop for the night. Or whatever. So Natalie is kind of like looking at her side-eye. You know, it's awkward for everybody. So she's telling Natalie, you know, I'm sorry. She's like,
I don't want to hear it. No. Go on.
And she's like, no, I'm sorry. She's like, yeah, you did that already. But Joey, bring your tail over here. So she pretty much is, you know, giving them a rundown on, you know, Joey, I believe that this girl love you. And he was like, she don't know me.
Yeah.
You know, I called her a couple times, but she don't know me like that. And she was like, the same thing happened to me. That's how I got pregnant with your tail.
But I went up in the restaurant, ball naked, having sex on the counter either.
Butt naked on the counter. It wasn't me.
But I bet you buck naked in back of them, what are them, Studebakers they talk about back in the day? I don't know nothing about it, but I hear old people saying they had sex in back of the Studebaker.
Oh. I don't know. So pretty much she asked Faun, was like, she asked the question, do y'all love each other? Faun said yes. Joey said no. And she was like, this is what I'm talking about. This girl has an emotional connection to you, and to you is just sex. This girl is in love with you. And Joey was like, nah, you know, she can't be. She don't even know me. And that's what she was like, I didn't even know your dad, but I was in love with that dude. And now that's why you here, give me all this trouble. And now I can't even look at my burgers getting prepped because I see y'all naked behinds up on that.
Now go bleach that counter down again.
She said, bleach it till I don't see your naked tail no more. But go ahead.
I was ready to say the what's her name, Faun? Mm-hmm. She tried to play it off like, nah, you know, I just joking. I don't love him. I'm just joking, you know. Like, yeah, you love him. She was in love with him even before then. Yeah,
the other Faun. Why did they switch Faun out?
Yeah, well, I'm just ready to bring that up. Did y'all tell her they switched the person?
I mean, she's totally different.
Yeah, they fired the other Faun.
Basically, she had something else to do.
They should have hired you.
They sure could have. I got a weed for every occasion, honey. Mm-hmm. So, before Faun gets out the door, Natalie advises her about the morning after pill. Now, my thing is, what time of day is this? Because it kind of seemed like it was in the middle of the day, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
So, morning after, your butt better be at the pharmacy at 8 a.m. to take that pill because, But she advises her that, you know, it's not a abortion pill. It's not, it ain't gonna do nothing if y'all got some diseases going on. But if there happened to be a pregnancy that would take place, this will pretty much prevent the pregnancy from taking hold.
Take hold?
Yeah. So she was like, okay. She didn't say whether or not she was gonna do it or not. So we get back to my favorite part. Woo! We over at Randall and them house.
So they turned the heat up on that part.
So Randall comes in the door, and immediately we both looked at each other and said, where the heck he coming from? With a briefcase.
Yeah.
Because don't he work from home?
Yeah, he worked from home. That's how he was able to cheat with Alex, because he worked from home.
So
peeping through the window. We
looked at each other like, okay. So then Mama was like, you done avoiding me? Mm-hmm. So I said, that's what it is. Yep. He don't left the house, so he ain't got to look at Mama.
Yeah, because he know his mama was going to tell him the truth.
Yeah. So Mama was like, you ready to talk? And he was like, no. But she was like, bring your tail.
Bring it.
So she said, do you remember Hazel? Soon as she said the name, I got a visual of what Hazel looked like.
Uh-huh.
Light skin, salt and pepper hair. Real sassy. Had a leopard skirt on with a red shirt. And she had on some pumps.
And some big old earrings.
Yeah, and she had some of them big glasses on. Uh-huh. I already see Hazel.
Just by the name.
Yeah, so he was like, yeah, I remember Hazel. And Mama was like, yeah, I almost didn't recover from that. In so many words. And he was looking at her kind of crazy. And she was like, because Hazel and your father was sleeping together.
Right underneath of my nose.
And she said, how did that make you feel? And he said, devastated. So she said, so how is it that you did this to Marcy? And that is how she feels right now. Devastated. I was like, Wait a minute, Mama. She Team Marcy now?
Yeah.
So she said some other stuff. What else she say?
No, my favorite part when she said, "Oh, you mad because you went and you planted an apple tree in your backyard and you mad because apples are growing on it." He said, "What that even mean, Mama?" That means that you reap what you sow. I said, God.
So he was like, just because I have sex with somebody, that means that it's okay for
it's
her
okay?
She said no. But before I even get to that part Randall had got smart with Mama a little bit. She said, boy, I will slap you so hard that the taste of that whore will come out your mouth. I said, God, don't.
See, they don't make mamas like that no more. See, that was the mamas like when we grew up. First of all, you weren't gonna look at them sideways and you weren't gonna say nothing crazy or your life was over. Mm-hmm. You was gonna meet an early grave. See, these kids today, they just say whatever they want to say and get away with it and mosey on, not us.
Yep.
We'd be dead.
Dead. Like this YouTube channel would be
it wouldn't even exist.
Y'all go to plug in random TV reviews and we'll come up like anonymous. I'm sorry. The person that you have reached, Mama has slapped the piss out of them.
Yeah.
So,
and he no longer exists.
So, I got a dry mouth. So, Mama was like, Randall, admit that you were wrong. You brought that girl into my house. Now, mind you, the whole time that Mama and Randall's having this conversation, Marcy is sitting on the steps listening.
Yeah, eavesdropping.
Neither one of them know this. So she was like, you brought that girl into my house.
I was like, damn.
Last week, we trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So, yep.
So she was like, yeah. Last week, you brought that girl into my house. Now.
But I'm trying to figure out how in the world.
How did they do that when she's a stay-at-home mom?
She's a stay-at-home mom.
So how did you take it?
Mom.
But he's not a stay-at-home mom.
He's
a stay-at-home dick.
Yeah. And how Brad and Marcy didn't know that they was on a road trip.
Right.
You know.
That's a very wide gap in this story.
Yeah. Dead giveaway.
Right.
Tyler, there it is again.
So, she was like, admit that you were wrong. And Randall was like,
I was lonely.
And Mama was like, what were you lonely about? Well, she was working all the time. And
She said BS.
This is what grown folks do. Y'all built this big house together. If you're not the man that can take care of it by yourself, she has to go to work.
Yeah.
Boo boo. So Mama called him out on his BS. She said it again. Admit that you were wrong.
She said own it.
Own it, Randall. He said, oh.
I was wrong.
And this one tear came out of Marcy's eye. And then they pan over to Randall.
He ain't sorry. He don't even care.
Then Mama called him out on it. She was like,
you can't own it.
You can't own it, boy.
Yeah.
I said, wait a minute. Then they got into this dialogue and she was like, I wish I was as brave as Marcy was. I would have been having sex all up and through here in front of your father's face.
Yep.
Just to show him how it felt. And Marcy thought that stuff was so funny. But Mama was like pretty much like, daggone it, what I would have did, Marcy is doing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just live in her moment right now. You my son, but not today. Not today. Did y'all watch how Y'all Fix My Life last week when the woman said, if you disrespect me, I'm going to treat you like a bee in the street, like I never knowed you.
I never knowed you.
That's how she treated Randall, like I never knowed you. I said, wow.
Ooh.
She said, I treat you like I never knowed you. I said, well, darn lady, she scared the hell out of me. And I didn't know her either.
Lord.
So.
But I'm so glad that his mama told him the truth.
Right.
Yeah, because usually, we've talked about this before, that the mamas and them son things, so the son can't do no wrong. But I think what hit home because it happened to her. But I think if it didn't happen to Mama,
she'd be on his side.
She'd be on his side. I'm sorry. I know that, that she would, because she would never know what it felt like. So since she done felt the pain, so I mean, she admits, she said, "I'm team." What she say?
Well, she said, "I never agreed with your marriage to Marcy. I never, in so many words, I never liked her."
Yeah.
But she said, right now, Marcy has found an ally in me.
I said an ally. What?
I said, that mean.
That means that she no longer own you, player.
So she said, you disgust me. He was like, how long you gonna be here? She said, as long as I'm gonna be. In so many words. She said, as long as I take, and as long as I damn well please.
So he ain't say nothing. He went on upstairs. He better not.
And then Marcy was sitting on the step, and you know him with that.
Yeah, that little face.
With the Joker smile. I'm like, he's a psychopath for real. So Kelly, didn't Kelly have that dress on last week?
I don't remember. Yeah, she did. The blue one. She sure did.
But I'm trying to figure out, did the days change? I'm not sure.
I can't really tell. But
Kelly gets a phone call from Travis. She ain't feeling Travis right now because that daggone Ramsey done got her hot in the pants. Mm-hmm. She soaking wet. Yeah. So
lustful.
Need to repent, like she said.
Yeah.
So, Travis apologizing for pretty much treating Ramsey like crap. But guy code, Travis is only apologizing because he already seen the threat. Yeah. He already seen that, chocolate caramel skin, nice old build, got good teeth, love his mama. Yeah, let me go on and fix this right here. Mm-hmm.
But it ain't working, player.
No, so then the door, ding dong. Well, not ding dong, not. And it's Ramsey, but she thought it was Travis. So he got a wine flower basket. Yeah. That his mama had supposed to have for her, which I don't.
So he said.
I don't believe that. Yeah. I believe he went and got that wine. Yeah. And them flowers.
And putting it off on his mama to get on over there.
Yeah. So he sit down, they talking.
Because them flowers would have died.
I was going to say something, but.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say something very insensitive. But well, about her. You made me lose my thought.
Well, while she trying to get her thought, you noticed that the flowers matched his shirt. So that was a dead. Yeah, the flowers was yellow, and his shirt was yellow. So dead giveaway. Okay. You didn't catch that?
I didn't actually. I was writing. I have to write while you watch.
I caught that.
Yeah.
But nice player move though.
Right. So they get to talking about everything, and Kelly's asking him, how are you doing? And he said, I'm not doing good. And, come to find out that he was the only child. His daddy never claimed him or whatever. Mm-hmm. Typical, stuff. Yeah. So Kelly goes into a little stupor or whatever and a little sadness because she's thinking about her son Justice because they kind of in that same situation. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I'm sorry, I didn't want to, I didn't mean to upset you or whatever. So she was like, when you going back to Utah? And he was like, I'm not going back no time soon because I got to sell this house. Mm-hmm. I heard there's a realtor in the neighborhood. She was like, yeah, Marcy. Ooh, but you need to call me. Yeah. Before you call her.
I know that's right. Yeah, because that's a little too...
There's too much going on over there at him.
Because Brad probably think that Marcy, Alice is messing with him too.
It's just too many people messing with everybody.
Yeah.
So, they get to talking or whatever. She giving him the giggles and the googly eyes and the big smiles.
The stare downs, the look up and down.
I said, wait a minute, wait. So he's trying to leave, but not really. But he finally gets up to leave, and he gives her a hug, and he was like, it's just so hard. And Kelly goes into a waiting to exhale. Sometimes it hurts.
Say, come on back in. Come on back in, Kelly. Come on back in.
Sometimes it's wrong.
Come on back in.
Okay. So I was like, okay. So she exhales and she all googly eyes. She at the door while the door closed. She trying to hold her.
Did he put his number on her phone too, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was for Marcy. But that's
player move number 2.
So she got the number.
She got the number. Player.
Turn your head around.
'Cause you've been played.
Big and Smalls is my man. So Eddie, he stalked. I said Becky.
Baby, what?
I'm tired as heck. Eddie and Ben are outside of the food mart stalking the place because Ben done went inside trying to get this tape. But little do he know that Pete already has the tape. And the lady in the store pretty much described Pete down to a T. I gave it to a cop. You know, pretty much all she had to say was he young, light skinned, and short. I mean, who else?
Big lips.
Yeah. And a crooked smile. So who else could that be? Pete. So Eddie was like, I should have took it when he was holding that coffee, took the bag and just took the tape. So now he's telling Ben, you be on him tonight. Y'all go somewhere and have him, to yourself. And they come to find out that the code reader, the kind of disc that it is, the only code reader for that disc is in the 911 dispatch office.
Yeah.
So Eddie's trying to figure out, how to intercede all of this, how to get himself in there to not get that thing read. Then we go back to the police station, and Pete is in the 911 center because Espresso had already told him an episode ago that one that you trying to do, that's over there where we at. So he starts looking at the surveillance tape or whatever. She comes in, he closes it down. Here come Ben. He ain't but 2 steps behind Pete at all times.
Mm-hmm. Dead giveaway.
He's like, what you doing? Espresso gives up all of these. Oh, he's looking at this, what is it?
The top secret case record, the top secret case.
Tito, somebody file, whatever.
TOS file, some TIS file, one of them.
Yeah, so she was like, yeah. It's top secret, cat. I said, oh my God, you're going to get this boy killed. So now he already know that he really does have it.
Yep.
He's trying to get the boy to go out to drink beer with him that night. Because, of course, Eddie told him, you make sure that you be with him tonight. Keep him, keep him close so I can do something off to the side. And dude is like, I got something going. I got bubble guts. I ate those taquitos for lunch. So he's like, can't do it. And he was like, come on, man. We went to the academy together. He was like, nah, man, I can't do it. He finally backs off and he leaves. I'm like, that was too freaking easy.
Yeah.
Did you think that was too easy?
Yeah, that was real easy. Especially he knowing that he got to go back and report to his pit bull owner, Eddie. That's going to go crazy. Oh, you didn't get him to do it. Oh, you didn't get him to do it. Yeah, man, you giving away that y'all trying to set the bull up. But Pete just don't listen.
Pete Rose. Pete Moss. So then we see Eddie at the doctor's office getting his follow-up. He's just a jerk to everybody.
Yeah.
You a jerk? I mean, how you gonna be a jerk to your doctor? If anybody, you be nice to your doctor.
Yeah, he can want to help you get that freaking arm of yours straight.
So the doctor was like, I can't believe you check yourself out here. You could have got an infection, but did I get an infection? Well, no. Okay then, I'm fine. So he was like, I need you to go ahead and sign off on these papers so I can go back to work. I'm going crazy. And he was like, no, I don't think you're ready yet. He said, have you ever been raped?
I was like, what?
Eddie. Have your daughter ever been raped?
Because I was like, Eddie, are you trying to say you gonna rape him?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was like
on the Hangover. Are you trying to tell me I got raped last night?
Yeah, this is a little weird.
So did he spit that thing so that so that he can't say that, he threatened him? He was like, yeah, because every day that I'm not in uniform and I'm at a desk, there are thugs out there raping women.
Yeah.
Daughters. People like that. And I'm like, Eddie, that's not funny. So he pretty much guilts the man into signing him his release form so he can go. On the way down the elevator opens and there is
Alice.
Sore Alice walking by slowly, going back to her room. Eddie follows her. Everybody following everybody this episode.
Yeah. Stalking.
He done took this old lady flowers. I said, wait a minute. So when the nurse leaves up out the room, Eddie slides on up in the room. And she know Alice go crazy because she's scared of Eddie. She don't want nothing to do with Eddie. He was like, hey, cousin.
Yeah.
Bought you some flowers. He was like, let me see that baby. Let's see the newest member of the family. And she was like,
no, he's feeding right now.
No, Eddie looked down and seen the blackest toes That baby's toes is blacker than me.
Yes. He's like, ooh, you
Let
whore.
me see this baby. Let me see this baby.
I thought he gonna snatch the baby out of her hand.
I thought she was gonna suffocate the baby. So she covering the baby up from Eddie. Get out, get out, get out, get out. And I'm like, oh God. He was like, you whore, you whore, you whore. I was like, and then it goes off, of course. But next week,
those are gonna be crazy. But then again,
you never know.
I don't go by those because you can see those epic freaking previews, and then next week be suck.
Right.
So I say this week was cool.
It was good.
Yeah, it was cool.
The biggest one was the dialogue between Randall and his mom.
Yeah, that was the best part. I like when Tyler do that, when he speaks truth like that. Somebody needed to hear that.
Yep. So basically, that's it, you guys. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, share.
Yes.
This is nonstop November, and we're supposed to pump out videos every day this month.
Not gonna happen.
So we have 2 channels. So between the 2 channels, I'm gonna try to do something every day. But so far so good. I did Monday, Tuesday, and Sunday, Monday. This will be my Tuesday. Empire will be my Wednesday, and then I will do something else on my other channel.
All right.
But shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to those who do these reviews as well. We have Lady Nika. We have the Ghetto View. We have I think S. Hutchinson does it. It's a whole bunch of y'all, and I can see y'all faces, but I can't think of y'all names right now.
Yeah, you
the
try to
Jedi,
name
all
off
of them,
names,
and I don't want to forget anybody.
Yeah.
But all y'all.
So that's why you said all of everybody.
All everybody.
All everybody.
So y'all
straight from the VA.
The dirty, dirty South.
Give you 2 up,
Give you
2 down.
Holla.
Holla.